Hello, my name's Michael Conneely and I'm making this short video to tell you about the Master Vedic Astrology website. Basically, in terms of Vedic astrology, there's 3 levels of teaching, from beginners to advanced level. And the very special feature of this site is that at all points in the teaching we open you to looking at the level of awareness you're bringing to what Vedic astrology declares. Vedic astrology is a magnificent interpretive and predictive tool. I'll be saying a bit more about that later on. But the point is, the level of consciousness that the astrologer brings to what he or she is seeing and declaring is crucial. And so the principle underlying the Master Vedic Astrology school is that Vedic astrology, if well interpreted, can be a gateway to enlightened consciousness. And secondly, because the declaration of Vedic astrology is so exceptionally and uniquely powerful, it deserves to have an enlightened awareness brought to it when it's being interpreted and stated. I'd like to tell you a little bit about why I particularly chose to study Vedic astrology. It started 19 years ago, and I had already done various levels of courses in Western astrology, and my specialisms there were psychosynthesis, chart aspect shapes, especially Chiron, the wounded healer, and the outer planets. But when I started then a Vedic astrology course, I was absolutely bowled over. And that's because very early on I discovered that the Vedic astrology of my moon is immensely accurate, and it declares the unusual circumstances of my birth in a way that my Western astrology doesn't know of. My Western astrology can't even touch. And basically that's because my moon is in the last degree of Pisces, in fact the closing minutes of the last degree of sidereal Pisces in the Vedic zodiac. And those degrees are called Gandanta. And that declaration totally stated completely accurately the circumstances of my birth. And those birth circumstances created an enduring life script for me. And as I said, Western astrology, with all its strengths, doesn't even touch it. And so I went on to learn the other wonderful and unique techniques and facets of Vedic astrology. For example, the moon phase on the day and the moment you were born is crucial, and yet Western astrology of moon phase is quite weak. But the Vedic moon phase astrology for the moment of your birth is incredibly valid. In fact, these declarations, like Gandanta and moon phase, take us a lifetime to work with. Another stupendous feature of Vedic astrology is incarnational life purpose, declared from the position of the nodes of the moon in your birth chart. Western astrology of nodes of the moon is very weak. Even the evolutionary astrology of Western astrology, although that has great strengths. But the Vedic astrology is awesome and accurate. And of course it has an unfoldment calendar to it, the transits of the nodes of the moon round our birth chart through our life. Another very, very special feature of Vedic astrology is its 27 sign lunar zodiac, the nakshatras. Yes, Vedic astrology has a 12 sign zodiac, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, etc. They occupy slightly different degrees to the Western zodiac, and there's a very important difference about what the two zodiacs state. But the 27 sign lunar zodiac is immense. It's extremely ancient, and it's non-linear, it's magical, but the qualities it states are so worth hearing. They give us such understanding, and with that level of accurate understanding we then need to, yes, create enlightened consciousness from that, and also bring enlightened awareness to that. So we don't only look at the nakshatras, the lunar signs in which our planets and our ascendant are placed, although that is immensely valuable understanding. In the level 2 course, the nakshatras advanced course, we look at how nakshatra sequences of interpretation are created, like Narachakra and Avtara chakra. And, for example, the first has quite astounding declaration for the health issues in our life. It is such good understanding to be able to start off in life with that declaration of our health depiction. And okay, I can only give a brief video here. I hope I've convinced you of the immensely worthwhile nature of Vedic astrology. I just want to say two more things. First of all, the teaching is unparalleled in the Master Vedic Astrology courses. Basically, in the level 1 course, you work through the planets one by one, the moon, the sun, and so forth, right through to the nodes. You do a report on the moon in your chart, and I then respond in great detail. The teaching is detailed and caring and structured and very helpful. It's exceptional. Having heard my response to the moon in your chart, you then write about the moon in my chart and tell me what my destinies are around moon, and I reply to those, and we then move on to the next planet. And in between the reports on the planets, you receive technical instructions. You learn all about the techniques of Vedic astrology. And so this is sort of built in a way that's psychologically valid, because it's tied to the study of two flesh and blood people, and it's grounded. So this is so much better than just sort of going almost on airhead trips about one's expertise in the techniques. The techniques are grounded, they're psychologically valid, and they're spiritually connected. So just to close, I just want to say a little tiny bit about sort of enlightened consciousness. A lot of Vedic astrology is tied to mantra, and anciently so, and this is valid. But I feel I have come to the position where I have to say that you have to be careful with mantra. It can bring pride. It can actually block you off from going further. And so I offer the Vedic astrology teaching from basic to advanced level in conjunction with teaching in enlightenment awareness. So look at the website and see all about it, www.mastervedicastrology.com. Thank you.